Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I am Sarath Lamson. Today we are going to revise the poem The Solitary Reaper by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth William Wordsworth was born on April 7, 1770 in Cockermouth, Cumberland, England, the second child of an attorney. Unlike the other major English romantic poets, he enjoyed a happy childhood under the loving care of his mother and was very close to his sister Dorothy. As a child, he wandered happily through the lovely natural scene of Cumberland. In grammar school, Wordsworth showed a keen interest in poetry. He was fascinated by the epic poet John Milton. From 1787 to 1790, Wordsworth attended St. John's College at Cambridge University. He always returned to his home and to nature during his summer vacations. Before graduating from Cambridge, he took a walking tour through France, Switzerland, and Italy in 1790. Wordsworth's first poems, Descriptive Sketch and An Evening Walk, were printed in 1793. He wrote several pieces over the next several years. The year 1797 marked the beginning of Wordsworth's long friendship with S.T. Coleridge. Together, they published lyrical ballads in 1798. Wordsworth wanted to challenge many of the modern writers. Most of his poems in this collection centered on the simple yet deeply human feelings of ordinary people, phrased in their own language. His views on this new kind of poetry were more fully described in the important preface that he wrote for the second edition. Wordsworth is a great romantic poet. He is called the poet of nature. He tries to find out an unbreakable bond between man and nature. This unification of man with nature is central to much of his poetry. The Romantic period in English literature roughly extends from second half of the 18th century to the second half of the 19th century. And the main characteristics of romantic poetry is the expression of personal feelings and emotions. Imagination is the main source of poetry. Nature in romantic poetry is a living thing, a teacher of man and a healing power. The individual is more important than the society. Some important romantic poets are William Wordsworth, Keats, Byron, Shelley, and Coleridge. The poem The Solitary Reaper. Now we will go through the explanation of this poem. Behold her, single in the field, yon solitary highland lass, reaping and singing by herself. Stop here or gently pass, alone she cuts and binds the grain, and sings a melancholy strain. Oh, listen, for the valley profound is overflowing with the sound. In this first stanza, Wordsworth creates the picture of a lonely girl who is reaping corn in the fields. She is singing a sad song in some strange language. The poet does not understand the theme of the song, but the song is so fascinating that he stands there spellbound. He is convinced that the effect of the song on him is everlasting. Wordsworth sees a beautiful maiden working in the fields and singing a sweet song. He invites others to come and see her doing her job. She is a Highland girl and is alone in the field. She is cutting corn and at the same time is singing some beautiful song. The poet asks the onlookers either to stop near or that field and listen to the song of the girl, or silently pass by her without disturbing her. The last line, the fourth line shows that the girl is so absorbed in her work and song that the poet does not want to distract her attention. In the first four lines, the poet stresses upon the loneliness of the girl. She is single and solitary and is singing by herself. Her loneliness adds to the mystery of the place. And then next he says the Highland girl is cutting the corn and binding it alone. While doing her work, she is singing a sad song. All around her, silence prevails. So when she sings, the whole deep valley seems to be filled with her melodious song. This word overflowing also reflects the poet's own emotions. He himself is overjoyed to hear that beautiful song. No nightingale did ever chant more welcome notes to weary bands of travellers in some shady haunt among Arabian sands. A voice so thrilling never was heard is in springtime from the cuckoo bird, breaking the silence of the seas among the farthest Hebrides. Here the poet compares her song, her voice with that of the nightingale, which gives a soothing effect to the tired travelers in Arabian deserts. The poet is convinced that no nightingale has ever sung such a cheering and relaxing song as does the maiden. Then he compares it with the sweet and exciting song of the cuckoo that breaks the silence of the seas near the islands of the west coast of Scotland. In order to augment the effect of the song, the poet uses beautiful similes and imagery. The image of the travelers who are bone tired and are relaxing in a shady place comes before our eyes as a painted picture. In the third stanza, the poet says, will no one tell me what she sings? Perhaps the plaintive number flow for old, unhappy, far off things and battles long ago. Or is it some more humbly familiar matter of today? Some natural sorrow, loss, or pain that has been and may be again. In this third stanza, the poet looks at the lonely girl who is cutting and binding corn, is singing a melodious song at the same time. The poet is so absorbed in the rise and fall of her voice that he does not understand the theme of the song. It may also be because the girl is singing in some strange theme of the song. She may be singing in some strange language that the poet does not know. He feels a strong urge to know the theme of the song but fails to understand it. However, her doleful tone suggests that she is singing about some calamity. The song may be about some personal loss, about some tragic incident of her life, or about some battle in which someone near and dear to her might have died. In the last, the poet says, whatever the theme, the maiden sang. As if her song could have no ending, I saw her singing at her work, and over the sickle bending, I listened motionless and still, and as I mounted up the hill, the music in my heart I bore, long after it was heard no more. In the last stanza, in this poem, the poet says that he stood there, spellbound and motionless for a long time, completely absorbed in her song. He could not understand the theme of her song, but he could feel its depth and pain. He saw her singing while working with her sickle. Then the girl stopped singing and he went up the hill. But the effect of that song on him was so strong that he heard the echoes of her song in his mind for a long time. The song kept on vibrating the strings of his heart even when he was far away from that girl. Thus, it created an ecstatic moment in which the poet transcended the limitations of mortality. Both the song and the poet went on together, both had become immortal. Okay, now I'll give the summary of this poem, The Solitary Reaper. The Solitary Reaper is a delightful lyric by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth is known as a great lover and preacher of nature. He impresses us by the imaginative and philosophical quality of his thoughts. It was written, this poem, The Solitary Reaper, was written when the poet is traveling through the Scottish Highlands. While crossing a valley, the poet heard a beautiful voice of a young lass singing a song which was probably sad. This Highland lass was also reaping grain in the field and singing a song at the same time. The poet was amazed by the sweetness of her voice and the beauty of her song. The notes of the song were very sad, and he assumed that she was probably singing about history and things that happened long ago, or some sadness that has happened in her own time and will happen again. She was singing really attracting the poet, and he compared it with the voice of cuckoo bird and nightingale. The poet also thinks her song is more musical than that of a nightingale or a spring bird cuckoo. The song seemed to be endless. The whole valley was ringing with her sweetness sound. The poet is greatly impressed by the sadness and the wistfulness of the song that he hears and feels that it has created an unforgettable impression upon his mind. The poet stood still and listened to that golden voice for some time. Afterwards, when he was climbing the hill, he could not hear that song any longer, but he was still feeling the sweet vibrations of that music in his heart. The sweet memory of that song had become a permanent source of joy. Imagery used by William Wordsworth in this poem. The poem presents a natural scene in which the reaper is situated in the center, working alone in the field. The two middle stanzas take us to different geographical regions, Arabia and the farthest Hebrides, where images of wandering nomads under the scorching sun contrast with the sailors anxious to reach the land. For both groups, the singing birds signal survival and safety. The auditory imagery also preoccupies the poem, represented by the reapers and birds singing. The form used by the poem stanzas. The poem consists of 4 8-line stanzas. The first sets the scene, the second offers two bird comparisons, the third wonders about the content and meaning of the song, and the fourth stanza describes the lasting effect of the song on the speaker. Themes. Imagination. The Solitary Reaper is about the power of the imagination to transform common everyday events into representations of a larger reality and the unity of man and nature. The poem dramatizes the reaper amongst natural surroundings as she is bending on the ground and reaping the grain. The whole valley is filled with her song, echoing her sound. She is associated with singing birds. Thank you. That's the end.